another person's opinion would be that just keep it the way it is, because why are you going to change it?
Okay, I need more specific. Give me some more. That's the beginning, but give me some more.
The people who want it translated say we're a melting pot, and everyone should be able to have it in the language.
Let's embrace other peoples. Let's embrace other cultures. Let's embrace these kinds of things. Yes.
And the other opinion was that if you are coming to our country and you want to become an American and like truly understand what these words mean, you need to understand it in English.
We are one country with one language and one flag and one loyalty, and this is Teddy Roosevelt. And if you don't believe those things, then get the hell out. Some folks would say there's not a better symbol of the embracingness of American culture, the melting pot, the idea that the ingredients changes so the broth does too, than if a young Spanish-speaking girl, or boy for that matter, could get up and sing the language, the Star-Spangled Banner in English and in Spanish back to back. Because at that point you accommodate everybody. Others are going to say, wait a minute, this is my country, this is our country. You do in Rome what the Romans do, you do in the U.S. what we do, and in fact, we don't have room for that. And if you notice, one of the stats from the article was 2/3 of the people don't know all the words to the Star-Spangled Banner, so maybe we're just making a lot of noise about nothing. And the Spanish version has been around for almost 100 years, and maybe we're making a big deal about nothing there too. Castle Doctrine, what was that?
Protecting your property with lethal force.
Protecting your property. The idea that if somebody attempts to attack you or threatens you, and you are in your home, because in effect your home is your castle, then you have the right to shoot. This is law in a number of places. For this article, tell me the story about it. Because there is some controversy. I mean, the guy was banging somebody's wife. I mean, when you really sit down and think about this, maybe he earned what he got with this guy coming after him. But make sure that you tell me the story and the logic. Chick-fil-A? Somebody just yells out the gay. Go ahead, Wealthy Anna.
Oh, well, there was a controversy whether it was the chicken was just chicken or whether you were actually supporting their anti-chicken.
Chick-fil-A has got some very conservative messages, and they've had it for a while. And there's an argument out there that if you go to Chick-fil-A, when you buy the chicken, are supporting their political ideas. Some folks would say it's just chicken and waffle fries. I want it here at MC. Others say I can't go eat there because I do not agree with their politics. And that actually kind of played into red plates and blue plates. If you remember, it basically said that the places or the counties that had Cracker Barrels were far more Republican, and the places or the counties that had Whole Foods were far more Democratic. And I guess the point in terms of culture with this chapter is saying you can tell somebody's political views based on where they shop. What did it say about Walmart?
Mostly
Walmart's Republican.
How much of Walmart has got to be Republican to win the presidency?
2/3.
3/4. It was 3/4 that you had to be. And it mentioned stores. Bloomingdale's.
Democrat.
Wealthy Anna shops there. Democrat. Target.
That's Republican.
J.C. Penney's.
Conservative.
Neiman Marcus.
liberal.
Yes, and this goes back to that quote, because if you remember, many of these stores are in smaller towns. Bloomingdale's, Neiman Marcus, Wealthy Anna's places are in the bigger cities. So it does tie in. Huck Finn was the N-word. How many times?
260.
Oh, God. Make sure you got a real number on that. But if you remember, they're trying, what do they want to change the word to?
Slave.
The N-word to slave. And we talked a lot about that controversy. Lay it out for me. And then last one, violent movies.
Oh, are they giving ideas?
With Batman and the crazy dude.
Yeah, the idea is it the violent movies that are reflecting culture, or is it culture that's reflecting the violent movies? That's what we were talking about there. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to sit down and write your exam as soon as I get done with the 3 o'clock review. No, I haven't. I'm going to send you out a list, and I'm going to send you out a list of articles that I'm going to remove. I'm going to send you out a list of chapter questions that I'm going to remove, and I'm going to send you out a list of terms that you don't have to know. And I'll probably do this somewhere around 5 or 6, probably about 6 o'clock tonight. So with this in mind, when you get this, I'm just going to narrow it down a little bit. but you get the idea. Show me what you know. And let me leave you with one thought on this. And the one thought is, if you write me 3 sentences on a 5-point question, it's not enough. If you write me 5 sentences on a 10-point question, it's not enough. Tell me the story. If you write me a 7-point answer for a 5-point question, I will give you 7 out of 5, which is the equivalent of a 140 as opposed to a 100. If I give you 3 out of 5, that's the equivalent of a 70. So show me what you know. The first person that takes the exam always fails. Don't be first. And don't be first or be second by finishing first and holding on to it and not doing anything. Make sure that you put some time in this. Because if you write the answers the way you should, you will really smoke the short answers. I can't trick you. The multiple choice, I can. I'm not going to try and trick you with what I put on this exam. I will try and trick you with how. So take your time. There are going to be tricks. And read it careful. Because you're going to know right where it comes from. I'm going to break it down. The first part of the questions will come from the chapter questions. Second part will come from the terms. Third part will come from the articles. And as you go through this, it should be pretty straightforward what I'm looking for. But don't read it too quick, because it will get you. Yes?
What time did you say doors open tomorrow? We can come in at
Tomorrow
10:00.
morning, let's open it up at 8:30.
8:30.
So it'll be an extra hour in the morning, and if you're in the 11 o'clock class, I've got a room afterwards, so if you need more time, we can go to another room, and it's not going to disrupt anybody's classes.
But you said don't be the first person to take the exam?
Don't be the first person to finish the exam.
Oh,
That's
finish
completely
up.
different.
I'm sorry,
So
don't
you
be
got
the first
first
person. If you're the first person to finish it, it doesn't bode well. Every once in a while, somebody sneaks up, but usually what happens is everybody laughs when the first person walks out, because they know what just happened. Go ahead. I don't know, but it's going to be for y'all about 115 points. About 115 points. You'll have to answer all the multiple choices, and I'll probably give you 60 or 65 short answer points, and say answer 40.
What?
So you'll have some choice.
What if you answer more? Can you give
No, I take off if you answer more, because I get pissed off when I'm grading too much at the end. And there's usually a curve on the first one. There's usually a curve on the first one.
Cool.
All right, good luck. I will see y'all tomorrow.